What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's Top 3. We have some amazing decks in store for you, checking out some recently released collector's decks. Steve, I gotta say, man, I am super pumped for this week.
I really am too. I'm super excited for these three decks that we have.
I'm not even gonna lie, we're recording one of these decks and I literally just got it in the mail today, so that tells you how excited we are about these three decks. Clearly geared towards the collector's market, but for anyone who's into fun, creative playing cards, these decks are going to absolutely wow you. Let's get right into it.
I'm ready to get wowed, dude.
So Steve, why don't you tell us what's coming in at number 3 this week?
Number 3 is the Royals deck by Kings and Crooks. It is printed by USPCC on unknown stock and it is unspecified print run. And the retail is around $16.50.
Dude, this is a long-awaited deck, and I gotta say they did a really cool job on it.
Man, it's about time it came.
This was one of the longer Kickstarters than I was anticipating there. I didn't even get a tracking number on this. It just showed up one day.
Hey, that's always the best way to get it, right?
Let's check this thing out, man.
This tuck is beautiful. It has gold foil with white embossing on each side. I really love the navy blue and the gold foiling together. You know, those are two of my favorite colors combined. It does have really cool ad copy on the bottom and the sides, and the mirrored circled elements with the R's inside them for the back design. As you can see, it does have inner foiling, which is super detailed and gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It looks really nice.
Yeah, this definitely reminds me of a Theory 11 deck, which is I'm always a fan of. You know, it handles beautifully being a USPCC deck. It does not have metallic ink on the back, but it does have metallic ink on the faces. And here you have your duplicate jokers and your very enlarged ace of spades, which I absolutely love.
And you can see that really cool, like, metallic ink peppered throughout these cards as well. It almost shimmers a little bit like foil as the accents on those pips.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Meadowlark, surprisingly.
Yeah, it looks really good, dude.
Yeah, and I love those, details on each pip. Normally, I'm a fan of, one detail on, one pip, but, all of them looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have, big enlarged pips for each of the aces, which I always love. And this red looks like it's kind of a brighter red than your normal, default red.
I think it pops a lot more because of that gold bordering around a lot of the quartz and the pips.
Yeah, it's so elegant. I love that outer border rather than just a straight line.
Yeah. One thing that's really interesting to me is the quartz are almost like, I don't want to say monochromatic, but they almost lack color because of the colors they chose to use for it, which is an interesting take.
Dude, but I'm a huge fan. I love that gold. It's kind of like it's not a straight gold. It's kind of like a greenish gold.
Yeah.
That navy blue. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a different gold than the traditional gold, like metallic ink we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I really love it. I think they did a good job. If they added any other color, it would have really, I think, looked odd.
Yeah.
It does come with a double backer and an ad card.
Which that ad card would have actually made a really dope back design, too.
Yeah, I'm glad these finally came in. They're gorgeous. I actually forgot what they looked like until I opened it up.
I think one of the coolest things about it, and the one thing that stood out to me, is just, like I said, there's a lot of color that's taken out of the quartz that really actually worked out well because of the simplicity of the border style and everything. But the one thing I would have liked to see is in the red quartz, they stuck with that blue color for the actual figures themselves. It would have been really interesting to see them do blue or black for the black suits and red or maroon for the red suits, just to add a little bit more distinction there.
Yeah, I think a maroon would have been really nice, especially, kind of going with that navy blue opposing color.
Absolutely. Definitely a well-deserved number 3 deck this week, though. And while you're at it and enjoying the show, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
And hit the bell.
So, Steve, ready to hear what's coming in at number 2 this week?
Yes, tell me.
So for number 2 this week, we have the Jay Dentistry Black Licorice Edition. This deck is printed by Cordomundi on their B9 Slimline stock. It is part of an unspecified print run, and being a hollow foil deck, this thing retails for about $26, so a little bit on the higher end this week, but absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, 26 for hollow is not much.
It's a pretty good steal, especially once you see this thing, so let's jump right into it. So really nice, clean lines on this tuck, very nicely designed. You can see it fits very nicely with the Meadowlark Pharmacy first edition, that these decks were built in that kind of universe there. Have some fun, clean, kind of matte paper here, so there isn't a lot of vibrancy necessarily or shine to this, but when you open this deck up, it's going to absolutely blow your mind. You have a non-numbered seal here, and then this nice matte tuck that was used for the base paper there. Then diving right into it here, man, this Black Licorice edition is gorgeous.
Look at that shimmer.
It is amazing. Being a Cardimundi B9 Slimline deck, you know this thing handles great out of the box. I was actually almost shocked at how thin it was, being hollow foiled as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're beautiful.
And then you can see there is actually hollow foil on both the back and the face cards of this. So you have two different Jokers, both children. Really gives a fun family vibe to this whole deck. And then you can see across the whole thing, you actually have hollow foil as the background for each and every card, which is just almost blinding in some capacities.
Like a little mirror.
It's really interesting. I really like the style of it there. Fun, unique things for all of the courts. So you can see some of the queens are holding candy or toothbrushes. The jacks are holding other, dental accoutrements. The one thing that actually threw me off there is all of the kings, except for the King of Hearts, are actually still holding weaponry, whereas the King of Hearts ends up holding a toothbrush. So it was really interesting to see that not all of the court cards had the little dentist added touches to them, and I wonder if that may be because there's only so many, dental related tools you could do without repeating candy and whatnot.
Well, I don't think the king actually does his own teeth. He probably has
someone doing them for you, a tooth servant. The one thing I do love about this too is you do have the central larger pips on the aces, and fitting with the whole Meadowlark and bird theme, there's actually a bird that's on all of the pips, or on the ace pips there. And you have that really cool snack card, and then a double backer there. So this deck is oriented towards collectors, obviously, but really just beautifully done. Handles phenomenal. I mean, this would be an eye-catching Cardistry or Magic deck, no question about it. Really impressed with the quality of the artwork on this one.
Yeah, I like how kind of subdued the tuck box is, and then when you open it up, you're like, okay, all right, this is business.
Dude, without a doubt. I mean, the nice thing is, it's like candy. Candy usually has a pretty relaxed wrapper, and then you open it up and you're just like, ooh, chocolate, or ooh, hard candy, or whatever your kind of candy is. Which, while we're at it, you might as well drop a comment down below and let us know what your favorite candy is. But I think this deck, dude, touches on such a phenomenal kind of theme, and making it fun with the kids and the hollow and the toothbrushes in the king and queen's hands. Really just a good time.
Yeah, Meadowlark does an amazing job.
Absolutely, man. So why don't you tell us what's coming in at number 1 this week?
Number 1 is the Moresque deck by Lautrec, also known as Oath Playing Cards. It is printed by Oath Playing Cards, and it is an unspecified print run, and retails for $20.
Yes, man. Let's check this thing out. And this is the Player's Edition as well.
Correct. This is the Player's Edition, and it's supposed to be kind of the V2 of the Arabesque, but it kind of formed into its own new deck.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it does have a matte tuck with some metallic ink embossed on it, which is just beautiful. Lautrec is definitely one of the best in the business when it comes to tuck boxes.
That green almost has a shimmer to itself as well. It's almost like a metallic flecked paper.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, this is actually new metallic ink that he used for this, and it kind of has the feel of foil, not as bright, but, it doesn't handle as good as you would see from Cardimundi or USPCC, but definitely better than, Lautrec decks in the past.
Yes, his handling has improved significantly in recent times.
Yeah, as you can see, it does have really cool pips that kind of remind me of a peacock in a way. This is a beautiful, super intricate work on the border, and Lautrec pips and indices.
All of that silver metallic ink around the borders just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, and here's Lautrec's court cards, which I absolutely love. They're definitely a take on the standard courts with a little upgrade by Lautrec.
Yeah, a lot of nice flair to them, a lot more personality than those standard courts.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I really enjoy about Lautrec's decks is you can look at the deck 5 times and you're gonna find something new. You know, you can see a back pattern kind of behind those pips on the number cards. It's very faint, but it's definitely there.
The one thing that stood out to me on this deck, and it always kind of throws me, is the 9 when I'm going through kind of looks like a J. So it almost like throws me off. So I'm like 8, Jack, 10, Jack. I'm like, wait a second, because it doesn't have necessarily a distinction. It has the hook on the bottom. It always throws me off.
Yeah, there is some of that, and I know he was dealing with that when he was changing it. But here's a really beautiful ad card right there. These are actually the Jokers. 2 duplicate Jokers, 1 green and 1 red. You have a double backer and then a blank face card.
This would be an amazing deck to use for Magic. I'm going to tell you, that metallic ink really does look beautiful. It's much more vibrant than the standard metallic ink we see across the board. Still not as nice as foil, but he does phenomenal work, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is the player's edition, so I don't think he was going for that foil look.
Yeah, no, he wanted something playable. And I think, honestly, other than the issue I have with the 9s there, this is a playable deck in my book. It would definitely be more eye-catching than I think you'd see in a lot of other decks, but it's definitely playable.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation piece.
Yeah. Dude, some amazing decks this week. Absolutely floored by the quality of these things. I'm going to tell you, it was a tough one, too. I battled myself between first and second for the Blue Jay versus the Moresque, and as much as I love that hollow foil, it's just tough to beat Lautrec's artwork, man.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So, now for everyone's favorite part of the show, we are going to be announcing this week's mystery deck giveaway winner. So everyone put your hands together for Fenfool. Check out his comment right down below, and congratulations on winning yourself a mystery deck. Make sure to reach out to us either in the comments or at show@deckinaround.com. We will get your prize out to you. And for everyone else watching, for your chance to win a mystery deck next week, make sure to comment down below. Tell us what your favorite candy is, which deck you love this week, or what your go-to deck this week is.
Yeah. Hey.